What's going on, everybody? This is the first time in a long time I have done one of these just up close and personal, just for me to you. Uh, but as you can see from the title, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We got a 3 hour um, Friday Night Smackdown that was handled pretty well, and a new champion. So strap in your butts, hold on, get some popcorn, and we about to talk about it. So we kick off this 3 hour SmackDown with Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes is basically he was talking about how we're on the cusp of greatness and change in the industry. He means by the Raw going to Netflix, and how that he wish he could be a part of it, but due to Kevin Owens' attacks, he really can't because he's really not medically cleared to do anything. Hence, I guess they try to say why the match between him and Kevin Owens is taking place at the Royal Rumble instead of the Raw Netflix. I like that the Raw Netflix is being treated like a PLE, by the way, because every match that's going to be on that card is a PLE word, especially all the people that's going to be showing up. John Cena, possibly The Rock, and Becky Lynch. Like, we just had to wait and see tomorrow. But yeah, so he said he basically was talking about that and how he knows everybody. He said usually he will come out and say what he want to talk about, but he knows what everybody want to talk about. They want to talk about him and Kevin Owens. But he would get interrupted by Drew McIntyre, who would come out and basically said that he give him a hug. First of all, he started off with a hug, and I'm like, okay. And even he was called guard, and he told Cody Rhodes not to worry. He's not here to hurt Cody Rhodes. He's here to help Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes is actually not on his list. And, he ran down the accolades of what Cody Rhodes has accomplished, especially being WWE champion, and saying that he's about to throw it all away and stuff. And he said, I can see you're making all these mistakes. You're making all this and that and that. So I'm here to have, and maybe you need somebody to watch your back. But then Cody cuts Drew off saying, you're saying you're here to, not hurt me. You're here to help me and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, I only tell the truth. He even botched the trade window thing. I think Drew McIntyre called it the Smackdown portal or something like that. And when Cody Rhodes corrected him and said the Smackdown trade, the little trade window for both SmackDown, Raw, and NXT, he was like, "That's the one." I found that a little funny. I'm like, nice little play in that. But yeah, no, he said, "Okay, you the resident truth teller." He said, "Well, let me tell you some truth." So I like to say that me and you are the same, that you're the this part. He basically was going off of Drew McIntyre's accolades. He said, I like to say all that, how we are similar, and how we both had to leave the company to basically reinvent ourselves and come back and complete our stories, and some other stuff. He said, I like to say all that, but he said, the truth is I just don't believe you. And he said he in his mind he think Drew McIntyre is there to take a shot at the champ. So he said, you want to take your shot, take your shot, and dare him to attack him. But then he said, you know what? Drew was like, I told you I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. And they had this little stare off, and then they switched positions where now Cody Rhodes' back is towards his back is facing the commentators, and he's facing Drew McIntyre, whose back is facing the ramp and stuff. And he said, you need to watch your back. And Cody Rhodes like, oh, you threatened me? He think Drew is threatening him. But it turns out he was warning him about Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens would attack, and they would get into a brawl. This time it wasn't just like a straight Kevin Owens beatdown. Actually, Cody Rhodes got up and they brawl. They had to be separated. And that was pretty much it. That was the first promo there. I think we do get a follow-up later on, though, about this promo, but that was basically the first promo there. It was pretty good. I still like how Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre are these heels that tell the truth. Like, you really can't say they lying, because again, I've been saying this when I'm doing the videos with the fellas and lady, and that is that you know that technically he's right. Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens are right. Roman Reigns is not different. He hasn't apologized. He hasn't done anything. So is CM Punk. CM Punk never really apologized for the things he did once he left the company. So, without getting into all that spill like I usually do, they were right about Kevin Owens and CM Punk. I mean, Roman and CM Punk. The first match of the night would be Shinsuke Nakamura versus Andrade. And this would be a very good opening. Well, I wouldn't say very good. This was a pretty good. I'll put that. Instead of saying very good, pretty good opening match. This was more so to get it. This did help a little bit get Andrade over, but this was more so used as a setup for a LA Knight match. Him and Andrade though went back and forth. Nothing too bad. Like I said, I don't got really nothing bad to say about the match. It was pretty good. It kept me interested. But yeah, it was pretty good back and forth between Shinsuke and Nakamura. They both had some good moves and whatnot. They played on the fact that how basically the last time they wrestled, Shinsuke and Nakamura won because Andrade basically knocked himself out, and he almost had like a similar situation again. But this time he didn't. He took it to Shinsuke Nakamura, but in the end, Shinsuke Nakamura would win with the King Shaska. But LA Knight would come out and attack Shinsuke Nakamura, and they would get into a brawl. And LA Knight would then cut a promo saying that once they got separated, would say a promo, or I think Shinsuke Nakamura just basically ran off. He was saying that you come in, you took your shot and you got what you wanted, but now he said nah. He said now you about to get what you deserve. But he said now he's more focused. He's more focused than he was last time. He's in his zone, and he said he's gonna take his pound of flesh and get back what Shinsuke Nakamura stole from him, and that's just a fact of life. Yeah. And then we got Apollo Crews and Pretty Deadly confronting Apollo Crews backstage about him telling the truth and snitching about who really attacked the Street Profits. More on the Street Profits in a minute that I did not know about. But yeah, Apollo basically was saying that that they accused them of being liars and up to something because he said everybody knows it was DIY who attacked the Street Profits. Hell, even you knew it was DIY who attacked the Street Profits. Questioning what he was getting at, but I think they will. Wait a minute. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, that's it. They'll be confronting, but as he would back up because he saw who was coming, Santos and then would confront Pretty Deadly about their actions and framing them for the attack on the Street Profits, and they was giving him they gave him like warnings / threats. Santos did, but they was like, hey, we need to have cooler heads. Pretty Deadly was like, it's no need for violence, no need for threats, and Santos was like, threats. He said, oh no. Like Santos kept doing that whole stick where he would raise his voice, which would make them jump and stuff like that, like something out of a monster movie or something like that. When somebody's intimidated by the other person, every time they raise their voice, they flinch. So they kept doing that, and then he said, "Threat? Oh no, we're not giving you a threat." And then like it was like a wordplay saying, "We're not giving you threats, we're giving you promise." Then him and Electra would back up a little bit, and then Angel and Umberto would get into a brawl with them, which they would have to be separated as well. Then by Nick Aldis and crew, but then speaking of Nick Aldis, that's where it would develop to. Nick Aldis would confront them about why they lied and stuff, and that they basically on their nights because they basically on the verge of getting punished or whatever, and that he really wants to know why they lied to him. And they try to make up some lame excuse, but he said he wasn't buying it because he got eyes and he's not dumb enough to believe that. Because they said like, why would you believe a power cruise over us pretty deadly because he said, "I got eyes. I'm not dumb." As he left, the DIY would basically come up and talk to Pretty Daddy. He said, "You know what? We know why you lied for us. You want a shot at these WWE championship." And he said, "Well, you could get it. You're the perfect candidate for the number one contenders." Gaslighting them, giving them props, even saying their catchphrase like "Yes, boy," saying that they the perfect number one contenders, and that they the only way they gonna get their shot at the tag team titles if they walk out if they leave with the tag team titles as tonight they got a tag team championship match against Motor City Machine Guns. And when we get to that match, I'm gonna tell you why that has something to do with the Street Profits that I didn't know until after I watched SmackDown. But yeah, and that's when they would leave talking about some yes boy, and they was like, oh yeah, they did it twice now, guys lighting them up, and then we would get to the second match of the night, which is Michan versus Piper Niven. This would be the corner of SmackDown's 3 hours, dedicated to the mid card women's division, and what you could tell they positioned it like I thought they was, because I said that Chelsea Green should be the winner. As I said, she should have won the Women's United States Championship match, but Michan should have been like the person, her first number one contender, or maybe even the first person to defeat Chelsea Green for that title. And this was pretty much that, they pretty much making Michan work for it, so she had to go up against Piper Niven, and this was a pretty good match. They went back and forth. You could tell they really pushing Michan this time because like it wasn't a typical squash match or anything like that. Like Piper Niven wasn't really overpowering Michan. Michan was getting some good offense, and like it's basically what I'm going to say for Naomi when we get to her championship match. But it was a good match. It was good. I'm liking it. I'm liking the fact that they had time to get over Michan. This is good. This is a good start. The match was long enough. It's Piper. It didn't need to be a super long match, but it needed to be long enough to put over Michan as a credible champion. But in the end, Michan would hit the eat defeat on Piper Niven to get the victory. Then we got a Naomi video package, with her talking about the glow, and basically why she's going to beat Nia Jax and become the new women's champion. And I think they even talked about how long it's been since Naomi been champion, which is a very long time too. I don't think Naomi has been women's champion since before the pandemic. Yeah, that might have been. She might have been like in like 2019, like right before the pandemic started, maybe 2018. But it's been a minute since we got Naomi. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think it was before the pandemic. Then we get a Paul Heyman promo where he comes out and he talks about basically how Solo is a fake head of the table, and how he stole the Ulafala. He said that Solo, he called him a sick SOB, basically stole the Ulafala for Roman Reigns' bag. The night of WrestleMania, he took his shot at WrestleMania. I guess once he lost at WrestleMania, he went into the bag and stole the Ulafala, and that the Ulafala has to be earned. It has to be given to you and earned. It can't just be stolen, and you can't just call yourself the tribal chief. And that he did do something weird. He did do a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if you catch my drift. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that was what The Rock did when we saw him last time at the end of that match when he just came out. I think it was a Cody Rhodes match. It was that tag team match where Cody Rhodes and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns teamed up, and he just came out and was like 1, 2, 3, and then he went. Paul Heyman did a similar thing when he said when Roman beat him 1, 2, 3. So people are speculating he has some ties to to Paul Heyman, or Paul Heyman got some ties to The Rock. Could be hints at what's going to happen tomorrow. But no, he just basically went on to talk about how Solo is basically calling himself the tribal chief, and he's not the real tribal chief because he stole the Ulu followers. It got to be given, got to be earned, and Roman Reigns will take, especially as the rightful head of the table, the tribal chief tomorrow on Raw debut on Netflix. But Solo will come out and basically confront Paul Heyman, saying that he's, and I like the little line that Paul Heyman said that he's basically close to pissing his pants. Um, and he said, he asked Paul Heyman why, off mic, you can hear him say why. And he said, because he said the last time we did this dance, you had your goons put me through the table. But Solo didn't come out to attack Paul Heyman. He came out to make Paul Heyman a proposition, saying that, you know what, since you owe CM Punk a favor, right? So let me do you a favor. He said, I need somebody to hold the Ulu father. I need somebody I could trust that won't disrespect our family, don't want to disrespect the Ulu father, basically who loves their family. And that person is Paul Heyman. But he said, but hear me out. If Roman Reigns beat me, and that's a big if, but he said, if Roman Reigns beat me, I will allow you to put the Ulu Fala on Roman Reigns, and I will acknowledge him. He said, but if I beat Roman Reigns, or he said, when I beat Roman Reigns, you will put the Ulu Fala on me, and you would acknowledge me as your tribal chief. And even Michael Cole said something about if Solo Sikoa wins, that he will acknowledge Solo Sikoa as the tribal chief if he beat Roman Reigns tomorrow on Raw Netflix. But yeah, he said that that's his proposition. And Paul Heyman basically agreed, since he was making sense, saying that he just wanted him to hold it. And then he said that when he beats Roman Reigns, and when Paul Heyman puts that Ulu Fala around him, acknowledging him as his true tribal chief, he wants to. He said Paul Heyman will be his wise man forever, and that was pretty much the end of that promo. Then we got a video package from the Motor City Machine Guns talking about how Johnny Gargano pissed away their entire friendship and everything for the titles, and how it only took them 3 matches. They so good that it only took them 3 matches to win the WWE Tag Team Championships, and that is only going to take 1 to win them back. And that if Johnny Gargano want to piss away the friendship for the titles, then fine, he could do that. If that's how bad he wanted them titles, but and then I think that's what they said, something about it only going to take 1 match to win the titles back. And then we get the third match of the night, which is the DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns for the WWE Tag Team Championships. And this was a good one. This was a good match. They went back and forth. This actually was long, and that was one of the things I like about the show, was that every match wasn't because of the 3 hours. Every match got time to cook. Every match was treated with fair time. It wasn't just a quick 5-minute, 8-minute matches. They got fair time, and this is one of the matches that got some fair time. They went back and forth. I think it was like maybe 2 to 3 commercial breaks. But no, yeah, the match was good. It was fine. I loved it. They went back and forth. They had so many points. Either DIY or Motor City Machine Guns had the opportunity to win, especially at the end when it looked like Motor City Machine Gun was going to win. But the Street Profits, Pretty Deadly did come out and try to distract them, but and you thought that would be like the moment that the DIY was going to win, but it was actually a near fall. And then after some more wrestling back and forth, the Street Profits, the Motor City Machine Guns put the DIY in both of them, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, in submission holds in the middle of the ring, and it was getting ready to tap out. But by this point, Pretty Deadly had got attacked by Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, and they was fighting outside the ring, and it came up in the ring just like right at the crucial moment where you can see they get ready to tap, and the Motor City Machine Guns is about to win. They getting ready to tap, and then Pretty Deadly and then will fall on Tommaso Ciampa and Motor City Machine Guns, causing a disqualification, with Johnny Gargano and DIY basically escaping, winning the match via DQ. So I'm like, okay, all right. I'm all for it. I'm all for this rivalry with Motor City Machine Guns, Humberto Carrillo, Angel Garza, and the Street Profits when they get back. And the reason why I say this is because just like how I found out that the main event was going to be Jay, Sammy, and Jimmy versus Bloodline 2.0 on basically the WWE social medias from a video by Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis also did a video talking about this match, saying that I guess it was originally going to be DIY versus the Street Profits for the tag team titles, but because the Street Profits had got injured doing a live event, they'll be out for the foreseeable future. And this match instead would be Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY for the WWE Tag Team Championship. So I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know that about the Street Profits. So there's a medical update for you. Let's see. Then we got Nia Jax and Candice LeRae backstage. They're talking about how they wonder what Tiffany is at, because she should be here, helping her get ready to prep for her title defense against Naomi. And she said, Candice just said maybe Tiffany's not here because she's mad about what you said last week to her. But hey, she said, I'm here and I got your back. And we don't really need Tiffany anyway, because you see how that stuff went when we try to get the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. And Nia Jax will say that, yeah, you know what, you're right. She said maybe when I beat Naomi later on tonight, maybe we'll get another shot at those Women's Tag Team Championships. And then Nia Jax went back to working out with Candice LeRae, basically sucking up to Nia Jax, gassing her up. I do like that this is how basically she's getting TV time, and they actually doing something with Candice LeRae instead of just having her on speed or whatnot. Then we get Sammy and Carmelo backstage, where Carmelo will confront him, saying that about running back that match, that as it wasn't for Braun Strowman, that he would have beat Sammy. He had Sammy beat. He said, and Sammy like, funny, last time I checked, last day I remember, you was running because you was only about to get kicked in the face, the Haluna kick, and that you took off. You said I wasn't taking off or running away. That was just me getting the game plan together, getting the strategy, and Braun Strowman got in the way. But he said that if you want to, you and your buddy Braun Strowman, you want to run it back, we can. And I'll be ready anytime. And then Jay and Jimmy would come up. It was like, is there a problem here? He was like, nah, this ain't no problem. Ain't no need to help me out. I can handle Sammy. He said, no, I mean with you. And then they got, because I like how they did it. Like they were standing on Carmelo's side, but then they got on Sammy's side, and Carmelo was just like, you know how one of those people where when people come up, Carmelo just basically just shut up and was just like, all right, man. They was like, no, what's good? Like, why you ain't talking your stuff no more, man? Like, why you trying to run away, boy? Like, no, come on, don't do that. And he was like, whatever. Like, basically, he don't want to talk his crap now to Sammy. And Sammy's like, yeah, because apparently Mr. Carmelo here is saying that I could get this work whenever I want to run it back. And it was like, oh, really? And then, Carmelo was just like, whatever. Like, he not trying to even deal with it now, because he's not about to try to deal with them or whatever. And then they talked about getting ready and getting the game plan and getting ready for their match with the Bloodline 2.0, and Sammy would leave to go get in his ring gear, and then him and Jimmy and Jay will be talking about it and bump into Kevin Owens. And they said, man, you need to watch where you walking, bro. And he said, no, you know what? You guys need to watch your backs. And then he just walked away looking at Jay, and Jay was like, man, what's up, man? Why is every time something going on, you got a problem with somebody? And then before we get to the fourth match, we got one final backstage promo where Cody Rhodes basically is talking to Nick Aldis, and Nick Aldis is saying that, what was that about? Like, I didn't even want to put you in the match. You the one who convinced me to do the match, but it seems like you're determined to get yourself hurt. You got to put the company first. You're the top guy. You got to put that championship, the company first, blah, blah, blah. And he said, you know what? I like that you thinking about the company and my well-being, that you got the power to even send me home or send me the signed autographs and stuff to the cows come home. But he said, and I don't know if anybody ever told you this, you're a good boss. But I'm the champ and you're the boss. Which means while you got the power to do all that, I got the power to call my shot. And he said, you know what? If Drew McIntyre want to come to SmackDown, fine. He got the okay for me to come to SmackDown. But anybody that even looks like Kevin Owens or sounds like Kevin Owens, he's gonna drop them on sight. I was like, okay, all right. I'm liking this, Cody Rhodes. And then we get the fourth match of the night, which is Naomi versus Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship. And this was a good one. This was a pretty good. Nia Jax and Naomi went back and forth. Had a pretty good exchange of moves or whatnot. Naomi looked as strong here. This is similar like me, Chan. Nia Jax didn't overpower Naomi. I mean, of course, she was the bigger comparison. They had her have the power moments and stuff like that. But her and Naomi worked well together. Like that one move off the top rope when it looked like Nia Jax was going to do like a suplex or a side slam or whatever it's called, and then Naomi reversed it, or she did like a flip, and Naomi actually did like a drop on Nia Jax. That was a good spot in that match. It was a pretty some good decent spots. Even that reversal pin slam that Naomi did on Nia Jax. I'm loving this new Nia Jax, because she slimmed down a little bit. She's more limber. She could do some, now she's doing like these flips and rolls and stuff like that, helping Naomi sell her moves. Tiffany Stratton would make her way to the ring, and at first she had a referee look like she was getting ready to cast it, but then she would hit the referee, sending him over to the timekeeper and where Lillian Garcia is at. Plus, Lillian Garcia and the other lady switched brands. Now the one lady that was announcer for SmackDown is on Raw, and Lillian Garcia went from Raw to being on SmackDown. And then she will help Nia Jax win by hitting Naomi with the briefcase, allowing Nia Jax to hit her finisher and retain the title. Now, I know what you're thinking. The only other match is the Bloodline match versus Jay, Sammy, and Jimmy, where you said it's new champion, right? Well, the new champion came at the fact that while Nia Jax was on the rope celebrating, she would get hit in the back with the Money in the Bank briefcase by Tiffany Stratton. And Tiffany Stratton would take out Candice LeRae. I think while Nia Jax was up there hurt, Bianca would hit the KOD on Nia Jax, and then Tiffany would take advantage by throwing Bianca Belair over the announcer's table, and then she would hit the prettiest move. She would cash in, by the way. She would this time fully cash in her Money in the Bank briefcase, starting an impromptu match with Nia Jax, and she hit the prettiest moonsault on a down Nia Jax. 1, 2, 3. Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time. Is your new WWE Women's Champion. And I'm just like, I'm here for it. And I know Punch was here for it as well. Then we got LA Knight, who basically was found backstage and by Byron Saxton, and he was interviewed saying why, what was he want. He said, yeah, you want to know what was said between me and Nick Aldis. And basically he revealed that Nick Aldis wanted to know why he did what he did earlier with Shinsuke Nakamura, and basically saying that he got a match with Shinsuke Nakamura next week for the United States Championship. He's going to take back what's his. He cut a really good promo, but I can't do it justice. And then we got a match with Jacob. We got a promo with Jacob Fatu with Solo Sikoa. This will be the shot of the night where we follow somebody from the back to the front. We followed Jacob Fatu and them as Jacob gave like this another oh Lord sermon about loving Solo Sikoa. And he said that when Solo Sikoa beats Roman Reigns and becomes improves himself as the rightful tribal chief, you will all acknowledge him. And thus we got the main event match of the night, which is Team J or Jay Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Sammy Uso versus the Bloodline 2.0. And this was a good match. This was they went back and forth. Jacob was Jacob having his moments. I mean, whew, Jacob was destructive. I love every time like they had somebody in their corner. My boy Jacob was like, "I love you, Solo." But yeah, this was a pretty good match. Going back and forth. Jay Uso and his team had the upper hand, but they would get all of a sudden Petty Drew would come out and basically make his presence known. And right when Jacob would like Jay Uso had the upper hand on Jacob at this point, goddamn Jacob and Jay with the legal man, he would dodge one of Jacob's attacks and send himself through the rope, diving on Drew McIntyre, taking Drew McIntyre out. But then he would go in the ring and try to. I think he hit us. He would beat up Jacob, but he didn't realize. And doing so, he got pushed Jacob closer to his corner, which got the tag from Solo. And Solo would Jacob would hit a spear and a splash. I mean, Jay would hear a spear and a splash on Jacob, but Jacob was not the legal man, and Solo would get in the ring and hit him with a Samoan spike and pin Jay 1, 2, 3, giving Bloodline 2.0 the victory as they stand tall in advance of the Monday Night Raw event, on Netflix tomorrow. I know this is a long video, so bear with me, guys. I haven't done a solo video in a long time, but this was a pretty good one. I enjoyed it. This was a good main event and a great setup, but because I'm afraid that the opposite momentum, because Jacob won on Friday, that he's definitely losing tomorrow. So it is what it is. But this episode gets an 8 out of 10. This 3-hour Smackdown gets an 8 out of 10. Big ups for me, because this was handled very well. This was a very decent decent Smackdown. It was only 5 matches, but every match was treated with enough time and care. Triple H had enough time because of 3 hours. We got enough time with promos. We got to add some matches in there. People got to get some screen time. So it's looking pretty good so far. So, but we can only see with Raw on Netflix and coming tomorrow. We can only see what else Triple H got in store. Man, and I ain't gonna lie, with Tiffany Stratton winning, I'm afraid that Liv Morgan is losing tomorrow. I want her to win, but I'm afraid that she's losing tomorrow. I really am. I'm worried. I think Liv Morgan is losing tomorrow to Rhea Ripley, but who knows? You let me know in the comments down below what you thought, though, and if you enjoyed my review of this, you know what to do. You hit this button right here for all of my WWE reviews. And if you enjoyed the video so much, you want to support the channel, all you got to do is hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, do all those great things, because I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. I need your guys' help to do so. And as always, any one of these videos for more of my amazing contents. But don't go anywhere, because I got more. Peace.